Kanaka e kumama loko e hanaiaia Eva kawaha e ano kaukula o ka leo A hele o vale noai Aloha mai, aloha mai, aloha mai Welcome to Unity Church, and let us have sweet conversations together and partake of all the blessings of the lessons of this day, that we may be fully contented and go home completely full. And when you enter, enter with love. Enter with love.
Thank you so much, Kayla, for that beautiful chant and welcome. It's much appreciated. And now let's just take a moment and bow our heads in prayer. Divine Spirit, in this moment, let us pause and take a slow, deep breath. Recognize our connection with Spirit, the one presence and one power. Become more aware of our inner faculty of power and feel it energizing and renewing us. How wonderful it is that we have the power to choose our reaction to circumstances. Aligned with Spirit, we take charge of our thoughts, words, and actions, knowing that they have creative energy that can transform our lives and world. And from this place of spiritual power, our presence reverberates, echoing to the world with perfect compassion, peace, and kindness. We are grateful for this special gift of power to embody the light of Christ consciousness by living our highest truth. And so it is. Well, welcome again, everybody, to Unity of Kona. Thank you so much for being here today. If you would please rise, we'll do our affirmation for the month and our vision and mission statements. Let me go. Okay, so here we are with our affirmation for the month of June, if you wouldn't mind saying that with me. I am limitless, manifesting miracles and transforming my life with every thought and action. And we all know that here at Unity of Kona, we have a vision of a world family of oneness, peace, and love, with a mission to inspire spiritual growth and service through the active practice of love, prayer, faith, joy, and honoring everyone as a child of God. Thank you so much. And while you're all still standing here, we'll go ahead and sing our opening song, One Big Family. If I could have some singers on board, help me out. Nobody wants to just hear me sing alone. All right.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody we meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one, one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one, one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah.
All right, woohoo. Wonderful. All right, and now take a minute or two to go ahead and say hi to your neighbor. Thank you so much, Elaine. And we'll come back in a moment. If you're joining us online, thank you so much for being here. Go ahead and chime in. Let us know. Let us say hello so we can properly welcome you. We'll be back just momentarily. All right, good morning. As many of you may have noticed, Uncle Jim is not here today. He had some other stuff going on today that he had to take care of. So I am happy to be here filling in. But that means I'm also changing batteries while I'm talking to you. Thank you so much. Okay. It's just always so great to be able to get here together after a week of doing our lives and just kind of reconnect with our spirit and our spiritual friends. So now is our time to welcome any guests and visitors. So if you're new to our Unity Center or haven't been here in a while, we invite you to chime in or stand. I think everybody here has been here for quite a bit. So we just want to welcome everybody by saying a big aloha and God bless you. And thank you so much for being here. You're all invited for refreshments after service upstairs. There's always some tasty treats that we have for after service. And so now I'm going to get into a couple of announcements. And first and foremost, Unity of Kona is a woo. It is a woo. Woo! More like a woo than like a woo, but Unity of Kona is a prayer ministry. And we know that our lives are guided and we can just do so much with prayer. So there are many ways that you can submit your prayers. You can fill out a prayer request form. that you can use to put it in the box in the back of the sanctuary. And that is prayed over every Wednesday before it's sent on to Silent Unity for 30 days of continuous prayer. So that's a great resource. And then there's also the Be Unity app, which you can take that entire paper process and do it digitally. You can send in prayer requests, and you can there's affirmations and meditations on there. So really take advantage of those tools that have been provided for us to reach out and pray and be able to have those prayers heard. Other announcements. Let me get to it right here. Here's my second sheet. So congratulations, Chris, our team member of the month. Thank you so much, Chris, for your loving service to our spiritual center. We're so blessed to have you here at Unity of Kona. Chris does a whole lot of things. Chris is a greeter, provides Reiki energy during our healing services, proofreads our Unity newsletter, brings food, helps set up before and clean up after fellowship, cleans our facility monthly, helps set up and tear down for Circulation Day. Chris is always here to help out whenever we need her, and we're just really appreciative of everything you do today. So you do today and every day for our church. Thank you so much, Chris. Today at noon, we have our crystal healing session, so we hope you can join us after fellowship. Clyde and Denise are facilitating the weekly Qigong class on Monday mornings from 8 to 8:45 a.m. at the Old Kona Airport State Beach Park. As soon as you go through the gate, it's the first beach on the left. On Monday evenings from 6 to 7, Dondi leads ukulele Kanikapila-style jam sessions from beginners to experts here in the sanctuary. Bring your ook, some will be available to use, so come and learn, play, and share. Thank you so much for that, Dondi. Denise hosts a monthly energy share class on Wednesday, June 12th from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. This class is open to the public and only to energy practitioners of all levels to both give and receive healing energy from each other. Unity's next Circulation Day and Bake Sale is on Saturday, June 22nd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. here in the sanctuary. So start gathering your slightly and gently used items and bring them before or after service or at 8 a.m., 1 hour before doors open on Saturday the 22nd to be added to our tables. There is a sign-up sheet in the back of the sanctuary if you would like to participate in the bake sale. If you have any questions about Circulation Day, see Kayla. And for the bake sale, see Elaine. And as you all know, it takes a village to run our spiritual center. And we appreciate everyone kindly considering supporting Unity of Kona by becoming a contributor and sharing your time, talent, and treasure. There are several sign-up sheets in the back of the sanctuary for you to consider, along with the refreshment sign-up sheet that is upstairs. Thank you so much for all of your continued support. And now, I have asked Sean to read our daily word. Welcome, Sean. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Prosperity, what a great word. It goes so many different directions, right? I focus on the goodness of God and know prosperity. Sometimes I may worry, wondering if I will have enough of what I need. If thoughts of lack or limitations arise, I lift my thoughts from the things of the world to the truth of God. I focus my mind on the richness of divine life within me. I feel calm and assured as I remember I live in an abundant universe and am heir to everything God is. Even my worldly fortunes shift. I am abundant in spirit. As I align my thinking with the divine mind, in prayer, I become receptive to divine ideas that prosper me. I claim prosperity and feel empowered as I do. My prosperity stems from my oneness with God. I count my blessings, feel grateful, and trust with understanding faith I have enough. They feast on abundance of your house, and you give them drink from the river of your delights. Psalms 36:8. And together, let's say, I focus on the goodness of God and know prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Okay. And now let's just take a moment to sit back in your seat. Relax as we take a deep breath and visualize the sanctuary as a beautiful heart. Feel the loving energy of those around you flowing in and through you. See that loving energy flowing around every person here in the sanctuary, spreading out to every being in our community and in this world. If there are any events or circumstances in your life, or anybody you know in need of prayer, see them in the center of this most beautiful, loving heart. As together we'll say the prayer for protection. For the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Wonderful. And now, I'm going to be wearing my multiple hats because we have some music from our guest musician, Faith Rivera, and I have to get her up on the screen. So let me go ahead and see if I have... We've had Faith here for years doing music for us. She's a wonderfully talented musician. We're so happy to have her here. Welcome, Faith.
Aloha, everybody. Aloha, beautiful unity of Kona. Shall I go, Patrick?
You go ahead and do your thing.
Okay, well, just sending you love. And it's been so beautiful to be able to touch base with you every month. And I heard you just saw Patricia Bahia past weekend. So she just had a beautiful time with you. So I'm going to share a song you all know from me, a song that continues to teach me to this day the truth of really who I am and the truth of who you are. Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me. As me, where I sing, God is. Where I dance, joy lifts my feet. Where I live, beauty's flowing free, in and out and through me. As me, where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. Where I seek, God is the answer. Here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak, truth is. Where I work, love is my career. where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work and breathe and move and be, where I sing, where I dance my dance, wherever I go, where I pray and take and give and live. God is, life is, love is, oh, God is.
Wow, thank you so much, Faith.
Thank you.
That song always gives me chicken skin. Okay, so now I have the singular honor of introducing our guest speaker today. Her name is Kayla Harvey. She is the president of our Unity Board of Trustees. She also is a local licensed therapist and does a lot of different stuff. She's also my wife. I like her a lot. So here with our meditation and message is Kayla Harvey. Welcome. Oh, she wants to use a different mic.
All right. Let's get centered in meditation. Take a moment to find yourself in a comfortable position. Shut your eyes if that feels good, and just listen to the sound of my voice. Begin to let your body find stillness. Take a deep breath in. And slowly exhale. Allow yourself to settle into this moment, fully present and aware. Now turn your attention inward to your inner world. Listen in, notice, and ask to see any parts of yourself may be present with you today, parts that may feel tense, protective, distracted. Perhaps there's a part that feels like it's carrying the weight of the world, or a part that feels anxious and numb. You might listen and hear a sad part, a critical part, just a vigilant part. Acknowledge these parts with compassion, understanding each has her or his own story for being. Whatever arises, greet each with curiosity and kindness. Now invite these parts to step back just a little so that you can connect with the core of your being. Notice within, behind all the parts, a warmth, a warm glow emanating from deep within your center. See this light representing the true self, your authentic, divine self within. The whole of you that is courageous, calm, clear, compassionate, creative, and connected. The being who is truly you. Feel that warmth and radiance as it expands, as an expanding light, filling your entire being. Allow yourself to fully embody this light, letting this power infuse every one of your cells with this powerful light. Know that this light is always deep within you, joining you to the field of oneness. As you connect to your authentic self, notice a great sense of freedom arise here. When you embody your true self, you tap into the limitless source and strength and resilience. You come aware of your inherent superpower, which lies in your ability to be fully present, open-hearted, and truly you. Take a few moments to rest in this state of authenticity. Feel the peace and clarity, the connection that arises here. Trust that this state is always available, no matter the obstacle you face. As we bring this meditation to close, take a few deep breaths. Anchoring this sense of authenticity to the freedom within. Know that you can return at any moment simply by connecting your breath and your inner light. When you're ready, bring your awareness back into this place, into your body and the present moment of togetherness. Feel free to wiggle your fingers and toes, stretch and slowly open your eyes, coming back into this place, carrying your authentic self with you into this moment. Welcome, everyone. Look at all these shining true selves. As we get back to our talk, who has ever read a self-help book? Taken a workshop, right? Oh, not us. Yeah, I think we all love that sort of stuff. Well, self-help is a huge, booming industry. According to market research in 2022, it is, in the U.S. alone, this industry worth $13.4 billion. Yeah, humans are always looking at ways to make things better, to improve our outlook, our situation. And a lot of it is because there's parts of us that don't always feel online, don't always feel whole. At times we may even feel broken or inadequate. The interesting thing is, however, that most of us are walking around not really even being ourselves. Most of us live our daily lives as our protective parts. We live as those wounded and protective parts walking around, when the irony is that our greatest superpower is to just be ourselves, our authentic, pure self. That's what we're going to talk about today. So I wore my favorite authentic color, that is me, and we're going to look at what is it to be yourself? What does it mean to be authentic? Why is that a power? Authenticity is described as being oneself, being genuine, being real, not being false, not a copy. And it's also described in some ways as being of undisputed origin. I want to come back to that part because I think there's something there for us. It's letting our true self shine in the world as we were meant to be. It means being brave, speaking our truth, sharing our unique gifts, and living in alignment with our own values, beliefs, and dreams. Sounds beautiful, but also scary, really scary to a lot of us. It doesn't always feel safe to share those things aloud. And in fact, the universe gives us so many opportunities to practice being authentic, even when it's scary. And I have a brief story to share with you about being authentic and the opportunities we get. And it's kind of silly. I laid in bed trying to think of a story I was going to share, and for some reason this one kept coming up. I thought, all right, sometimes the silliest stories are the most real. So I got a chance to express my authentic opinions 3 times about the same thing. A silly thing. Patrick and I fly back and forth to the Midwest at least once a year to see family. And years ago, I want to say maybe 4 years ago, we were doing so and we got picked up by Patrick's family. Very lovely. And we're staying at their home. And they knew we were going to be hungry. So his mom asked, "Can I make you some food?" That'd be very thoughtful. And she knows I don't eat meat, and so there's a lot of things she's avoiding. Trying to imagine what she's going to feed us both, she says, "Can I make you egg salad sandwiches?" And I think, great, I love eggs. It's great. So she's busy making these sandwiches. We're so excited, and I'm starving at this point. And she sets them down in front of us. They look lovely. And she goes off to work on something. And as I take this first bite of this egg salad sandwich I'm so excited for, I get this instant weird taste in my mouth. And I have this sinking feeling, oh no, and I am so grateful. I can't eat this sandwich. I can't do it. I can't eat the sandwich. So I nibble on the chips and the crust and try to brush off some of the eggs. It wasn't working. So Patrick ate most of my sandwich, and she asked if we were still hungry, and I couldn't tell her that I didn't eat the sandwich, so we just said, "Oh, thank you." And there was some awkward tension in the room. It's like you could just feel it. It was just off. And I felt bad. And we didn't have a car there. I didn't have any snacks. And Patrick's like, "No, I'll just tell her. We'll get you something else." And I couldn't. It just felt mean. I didn't know how to do that. So I just smiled and said I was fine. And I was hungry for hours. I was so hungry. And I felt guilty, hungry and guilty and awkward. And I said, I'm never doing that again. So 2 years later, we fly in and we get picked up by my mother-in-law. And she says, "Can I make you some food? How about I make you an egg sandwich?" And my heart dropped, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm not doing this again. I can't do this. And I panic, look at Patrick. And he says, "Sure, no problem." And I give him this jab in the arm, and I'm like, I can't say it. I can't. So something happens. I get up and go to the bathroom or something. And luckily, he says, "Hey, Mom, do you have some mayo by any chance?" Kayla just grew up in a Mayo family. And she laughs, and apparently there are other relatives, and they do have a jar of mayo because there is another brother-in-law who only likes mayo. So we get our mayo egg salad sandwich. Then this happens again. We visit them on vacation in California, and the boys went out golfing. And she says, "Well, when they come back, I'm going to make us some egg salad sandwiches." And I'm thinking, oh no. And I just know that in that fridge, there's a giant jar of Miracle Whip. And I'm like, this is not happening. And there is no one to save me. Now, my mother-in-law, I love her. She's a lovely person. We've just never connected in that way. I'm always feeling like I should be something. And I want to be nice. And I want to be a good daughter-in-law. And so I don't know how to say things. I don't know how to say things, but I thought, I can't do this. In front of everyone, I'm going to eat that whole sandwich? I don't think it's just not going to happen. So I said, swallowing really hard. Helen, do you possibly have any mayo? And she goes, oh, yeah, that's what we'll have. We have some already in the fridge. And I thought, I don't think she knows what I'm talking about. This is not one of those interchangeable situations. And I said, by mayo, do you mean mayonnaise or Miracle Whip? And she goes, oh, yeah, we have Miracle Whip. And I said, I'm kind of a mayo person, so I can find something else for myself. Or, I could go get some mayo and I'll just have my own on the side. And she goes, oh, that's right. I totally forgot. Well, let's go get some. There's a little store on the property. Do you want to go for a walk? Well, we ended up going for a nice long walk. We had a good long talk. We talked about business. We talked about travel. It was the most I had ever talked to my mother-in-law alone. We had the greatest talk. So in speaking about the thing I was the most afraid to say when we're trying to fit in and be liked, when we're ignoring our own needs, we might be lying to ourselves, playing small, or when we accept circumstances that really aren't okay with us. We hide our authentic self when we're not really following our heart and our truth. And when we're led by these fear-based or protective parts. And unfortunately, doing that is like wearing ill-fitting clothing. Right? You ever done that? Something's just a little too small. It might be functional, and if nobody's looking too closely, it might actually look really good. You're just like constantly uncomfortable all day long. That's what it's like. Not being our own authentic self restricts our growth. There's not enough room for your soul. It keeps us from those deep connections. It keeps us stuck with people and in places that we aren't really meant to be anymore. It has us accepting the status quo and not ready to choose our destiny. Many of us choose that perceived safety instead of being our authentic self. Well, I'm always looking for and trying to find new ways for people to be able to love themselves, and in turn, to be able to love and accept myself. That's why I like to do healing work. Well, I came across something that I'm really into, and I've shared with you before, this idea of internal family systems. And it's created by a man named Richard Schwartz. And it's an entire paradigm and a therapeutic modality. And he talks about our multifaceted minds. The idea that each one of us is our own whole system internally. We have protected and wounded parts, and we all have a core self. Most of the time, he finds that we are living as these protective parts, the subsections of our personality that are driving our bus. They may be things like the striver, the people pleaser, the inner critic, the judge, the angry protector, the caregiver, the controller. We all have these parts, and they're usually the parts of us running our day-to-day lives. But the problem is, when just one of these parts is driving your earth ship, it has its own patterns. It gets itself into a narrowed alleyway of thoughts and feelings. It has its own neural network associated with what it has learned. And that part, without assistance, does not grow, and it sticks to its own muscle memory and keeps us stuck. It only knows what it knows. However, if you can observe, that inner critic part is driving the show. Oh, my people-pleasing part. Oh, I'm just going to watch that part of me. Say, oh, yes, of course. Ooh, I saw that. When we can watch and observe these parts running our ship, we can then unblend with them. This is what he calls getting away from a part of ourselves and instead becoming the whole of us. We move from being the part to listening to that part. Ooh, I just heard myself say that. Huh. And it goes with Pema Chodron, what the American Buddhist and author says, you are the sky. Everything else is just the weather. And this is something Patricia Bahia said in a song that she wrote and sang to us the prior week, that we are, he describes, our facets of self arise. And I think when you hear them, you'll hear the divine nature here. He says all people have this, and the facets of self are demonstrated through the 8 C's. Our true self is compassionate. It's curious. It has clarity about itself. It is calm and creative. Our true self is confident. Our true self has courage. And our true self is pure connectedness. You could see each one of these as their own superpower. We have all of this inside of us. And when we have our whole brain turned on, that heart-brain connectedness, this is who we are by nature. When our emotional, intellectual, and instinctual parts all merge in our full neural integration, this is the true you, the deeper you. For 4 decades, he has been studying and exploring parts. And what he's learned about this self, this is the part that arises when a client is ready to heal. It's from within them that the healing occurs. He also noticed that everybody has this core self. Everybody has this. The core self can never be broken or wounded, ever. And though he didn't mean to make a spiritual philosophy, he noticed that the core self of every being is inherently connected to the oneness of all that is. And unlike most therapeutic modalities, he says, you don't have to develop this healing part. You don't have to develop it. It's not something you learn. It's something that is deep inside of you that you only need to learn to access. I found a great example of how we can access and of someone accessing that real self in the book, The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. She has an experience that I wanted to share. And she states, I once spent a week in a training course with my friend and teacher, Deepak Chopra. The first day of training, Deepak told us to pair up with a partner and then ask each other a series of questions. My partner was a young woman named Elsa. During the exercise, one partner was asked to whisper questions again and again in the other partner's ear, and their partner was meant to respond with whatever thoughts jumped into their mind. We began the exercise with the question, who are you? Slowly, Elsa began whispering this into my ear. Who are you? And my first response was, I'm Gabrielle Bernstein. She went on, who are you? I'm Gabby. She repeated this question a few more times, and I continued to respond with answers that describe me, I guess, my personality, and who I perceived myself to be in the world. Then Elsa moved on to the next question. What do you want? I replied, I want a snack. She continued, what do you want? I replied, I want a nap. This ridiculous question and answer series went on and on. What do you want? I want a full night's sleep. What do you want? I want a coffee. What do you want? Did I say I want a nap? After several rounds of questioning, we ended the exercise and went back to our seats. I remembered feeling terribly awkward. I thought, I'm at a spiritual retreat, and all I can think of is that I want a snack. I didn't have much time to lament my poor performance when we were immediately led by Deepak into a group meditation. He guided us to repeat a mantra and release any attachments we had to the previous exercise. Within a few minutes, I began to feel relief. Then I slipped into a silent place of stillness between thoughts, the space where nothing matters, the space where I feel free. I relaxed into the stillness and let go of the pretense I built up around myself. In that moment, I was one with the universe. Suddenly, a loud voice spoke up within me and said, I am the one with the universe, and I want to get closer to consciousness. I had realigned with the energy of the universe long enough to remember my true nature. I came out of the meditation remembering that I am one with the universe, and I want to get closer to that truth. This involuntary response instantly brought me to tears. In the presence of truth, all fears disappeared, all separation released, and all judgment dissolved. In that instant, I was free. I think that's a beautiful story. And I think she's urging us to ask ourselves, who am I? Who were you designed to be? I think it's probably less about becoming anything and more about unbecoming. It's more than just speaking up and speaking your mind, speaking your feelings. It's more than the roles that you play, the food that you like, the things that you do. It's about returning to the truth of your own being. It's about remembering that undisputed origin. We talk about authenticity. They talk about something being authentic, of undisputed origin. Well, remember, our origin is of God, the all that is. That is our true source. And so to embody our true nature is to remember that authentic and true source. The Metaphysical Bible Dictionary talks about what the metaphysical meaning of self is. And it said self is the Christ, the divine idea. It's the true self of every man. It goes on to say, the fulfillment of self is accomplished as man puts on the Christ. I thought that phrasing was interesting. As man puts on the Christ. So then I searched that phrase in truthunity.net, a great resource. And actually, a quote from Eric Butterworth came up. And it's a quote from the Unity podcast number 57. And he says, to put on the Christ is not to putting on something like a mask. Rather, it's revealing the reality of you, in which you see yourself as God sees you. To put on the Christ means to put on the receptivity, to see the Christ in yourself and in all people. And this is the truth of who we are. That we are both individual and we are all. We are connected to oneness. Quantum physics is backing this up. Quantum physics says that a photon is both particle and wave. They're finding this is true for almost everything. Everything that seems solid is also vibration. Everything that seems like one individual is also so much more a part of the field of wholeness. Just like a drop of the ocean is its own singular drop, it is also part of the totality of oceanness. The same is true for you. You may be your individual you, but you are also whole and one, embodying Christ consciousness. Embodying this is our true nature and our authenticity that we need to bring forward. It is the process of freeing ourselves. We do so, we engage that superpower. We live in alignment with who we really are, what we really want, what we really believe. And when we do this, opportunities that are meant just for us can present themselves because they can finally find us. We can build genuine connections with other human beings. We can present our gifts to the world. We experience great relief, freedom, and wholeness. So what does it take to be authentic? Brené Brown has a book called Daring Greatly, and if you haven't read it, I encourage you to read it. She says, authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we really are. So it is a daily practice of being courageous, of being accountable, being vulnerable, of facing our fears. We have to face those fears and say what we mean, own what we want. And in that, be compassionate and clear. In doing so, we make space for our Christ consciousness. In that state of vulnerability, I have to tell you, every time I write a talk, every single time I go into it, there is a vulnerable part that comes up in me. There is a part of me that arises that says, I don't know enough. I don't know anything about this. Who am I to talk to these people? Am I going to be inspiring? Will they like me? That part arises. And I have to acknowledge her. She says, you're not a minister. What do you know? You don't have decades of experience in this stuff. And I have to notice she's there and remind her that this is where we feel good. And the fact that we are willing to share ourself, our real self, our feelings, our experiences, is the connection that humanness needs. And that you can do that. You are that. I remind myself every time I go into a session as a therapist, and even though I know I'm licensed, I have a business, I've been doing this for a while, I think, I don't know how to help them. I don't know. I have to remind myself, it's the relationship that heals. Be yourself. And by sharing myself and saying, I know exactly what it's like to have panic attacks. Or saying, oh yeah, I have that part in me too. I totally get that. And telling them, I don't know, but we can do it together. Every time I bring that true self, that's the healing. And doing these things, my heart sings. It's where my creativity and my play comes out. And that's how I know that this is meant for me. It's where I feel free. It's where my divinity shines. Find that for you. Where does your real self shine and come through? Because me coming up here every time, despite my afraid self, is me being me to give you permission to be you. That's what we do every time we stand in our truth, every time we share our gifts, every time we are our real self, we're giving everyone else around us permission to do the same. You each have your own unique talents. You have your superhero-ness deep within you. We might be wearing these costumes, but inside of you, I know you shine bright like a diamond. Find that inner light. Engage your true earth mission by sharing what you were meant to share on this earth, even if it's just, you really just don't like Miracle Whip. That's part of you too. So be curious. when you are not being yourself, when one of your parts starts to drive that bus and you go, whoa, who's that? Just notice that part. Notice when you're not speaking your mind, you're denying your needs, and be compassionate. Oh, what do you need, little part? Bravely share. You know, there's a part of me coming up that's worried about. The more you speak for them, the less they speak through you. The more you can speak as your true divine essence. So get familiar with who that real self is. Feel into remember the truth of your being. Get curious, notice yourself, and when you feel like you, do more of that. And then bring that energy into every situation. The grocery store, the auto mechanics, lunch with your mother-in-law. Bring your divine self there. Shine that light for everyone. And together, let's do our affirmation. When I lead from my authentic divine self, I engage my superpower. That's right. So let's do this. Let's become, as Richard Schwartz would say, self with a capital S, led. Leading from the truth of our being, tapping into the unified field of self, the God within. That is the direction of your destiny. And that, my friends, is your superpower. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla. Great talk. She did not let me know that she was going to say that story before she started today. She wanted to be a surprise. There goes my pen. So now is the time in our service where we collect our offerings in support of this ministry. The ways in which you can make your donation, for which we're abundantly grateful, will appear on the screen. For those attending service, the ushers will be passing around the collection plates. And for anyone who has spare change, feel free to add it to our building fund at the back of the sanctuary. So please take your gift into your hands and then say with me our offertory prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am abundantly prosperous in every way. So it is. And now we have some more music from Faith. Thank you so much for being here, Faith. What you got for us?
Well, I guess this is our superhero.
Ooh, hold on. I gotta volume you way up.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
You got me? All right. This is for all us reluctant superheroes to let them out. Here we go. It goes like this. Shut up. I'm speaking. I'm finding the courage to say that I'm here. Stop counting me out, 'cause I'm gonna stand out today. Gonna stand out today, yeah. I'm not invisible, not anymore, not anymore. Call me invincible. Call me, I am original. Call me, I am says, gonna make my own way. I'm gonna make my own way. I'm not invisible, not anymore, not anymore. Call me, I am invincible. Call me, I am original. Call me, I am unsinkable. Wouldn't it be so wonderful to rise up today? Oh, rise up today. Set the world on fire today. You'll see me rise up. Oh, rise up today. fire. Today, you'll see me rise up. Today, I'm shooting right up. Ooh, shooting right up. Ooh, you'll see me rise up today. See me rise up today.
Okay, so next Sunday, our guest speaker is going to be Reverend Sophia, and her topic is the science of miracles. Delve into the quantum mechanics of manifestation and how you can become a miracle worker in your own life. Our musician is going to be Nama'umele. Thank you so much for being here with us today. So please feel free to tell your friends about the Facebook event. This is a service we remain viewable on Unity of Kona's Facebook and YouTube. And as we hold each other in our hearts, why don't we go ahead and stand and make a circle behind the front row, behind the cameras. And we'll sing Let There Be Peace on Earth and Aloha Oi. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony, perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. All right. Have a fabulous week, everyone. And many blessings and mahalo for being with us. And until we meet again, we'll sing Aloha Oi. Aloha Hoi. Aloha Hoi. He ke ona ona no ikalipo. One fond embrace. Ahoy, aheo, until we meet again. Ahui ho, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you for next week. Donnie got some music for us to close out with. Hawaii kuone anawe. Uhome hulaihine. Oli noa hina ponolani o. E Hawaii, aloha e. E aoli e na hobi o Hawaii ne. Holy holy Maina ahe ahe makani pa maine. Mau ke aloha no Hawaii. One more time. E Hawaii e kuone anawe. Kuhome kulaivine. Oli noa ina
monolani o e Hawaii aloha e aoli e na opi o Hawaii ne holy Aina ahe ahe magani pa mai